Okay, so here's the goals for today. A couple notes. Um, Today I drank like a big glass of wine. So I'm gonna say one, just because it really wasn't two. But I drank some wine today, but I held off for a long time. No, that's the key goal for me because it impacts my fitness and getting leaner, impacts my mental clarity for work, helps me get more out of what I read, helps me execute effectively. So that's the reason I bring that up first. But for caffeine, that was good. I only had my one 4-shot latte. Um, I added something here at the bottom. Something I had wanted to shoot for was no TV. But then I thought that was pretty unrealistic because sometimes I have quality time with my wife. We're watching something we both enjoy. So my modified goal for that was just no TV alone because there's a lot of wasted time. And just kind of less TV in general though, because like today we put on Fantastic Four because my daughter wanted to watch it and I'd seen it before, so I watched some of it with them and then I left and did my yoga. And then after that was done, I took the kids out to play in the garage, kick the ball around and stuff. So couple what I'm mentioning that for is last time I talked about how familiar settings make it harder to not do something you used to do. So like if you're in a similar situation and there's wine there, you're probably gonna drink wine at some point that in that time frame. And if you're emotionally preoccupied, even if you're not saying anything or doing anything and acting out, when you're emotionally preoccupied, I find that is when you're going to just go with an old habit because it's familiar, right? It's a familiar way of dealing with the or supporting the emotion, or it's a familiar setting where you're like, oh, I'm gonna have some wine. So now I'm at 3 days missed, but I wanted to say for day three, last Wednesday, I did as well as day one and two. And then day six, yesterday, I had no alcohol. I hit all my goals basically. Um, but just to reiterate the importance of these goals for me, I have 5 clients right now, a lot of work to do, really don't have a lot of room for flexibility in terms of not getting some things done day to day. So I need to follow these goals and achieve them, especially this quarter, to make progress for the next. And of course, if I mess up or mix some things up in terms of my goals, it's not the end of the world. It's just if I want to make progress, I know I need to stay on track for these. And so far, we're at 4 days on target and 3 days off. So positive traction, and not too much. Like, I mean, having one glass of wine is better than having two. So that's all positive. And then I haven't done any reading today. It's Sunday. I don't really care if I read on Sundays just because it's the Lord's Day. It's kind of a day off of a lot of things, a lot of normal work at least. Um, I cooked today, so that's a big deal. I did tacos. So I did everything. I pretty much cleaned up everything as well. Um, so that's a win. No TV alone. I achieved that, and I didn't really watch a whole lot of TV today either. Um, so my weight is still basically where it was. It could be from some inflammation today. I had some snacks at church. So I had some of their sugary snacks. That probably could have been part of the problem, made me inflamed. But I'm around 220 still. I don't think that's really that I don't really care about the weight as much as the body change. Because if I'm working out, I'm potentially building muscle. If I'm doing it at any in any sort of successful manner, I'm going to be putting on some muscle too. So the weight doesn't matter. But that's kind of my update. A little bit off track, definitely a lot on my mind. Um, Certainly some temptations to feel alone. in trying to deal with everything, which isn't true. It's just a temptation because God's with me to help. And Becca, my wife, is there to help. Everyone's helping in some capacity. I'm not alone. But when you get to places where you have a lot of pressure, a lot of things that you're trying to make succeed because you care about them, sometimes you get in this zone of you're the only one who cares about it because you care more than everybody else does about those particular goals. So just contextually, you end up, at least in my life, I contextually end up getting in that headspace sometimes. So those are just some notes, things and observations I'm making on stuff that gets in the way of consistency here. So ultimately, what we're going for with these consistent updates is the more I can change my day from what it used to be, the more I can change my life over time. So this is kind of a dramatic accountability, just exposing myself to my past and like the last quarter and keep doing that over and over. Um, and I think that'll help. So if you guys are also interested in sharing your goals, please post those or shoot me comments, share your thoughts. Talk to you next time.